Have you ever stopped to think about just how powerful you are? Powerful. Or do you feel like life is just kind of working around you and you're doing your best within it? Well, I have a message for you because I got a little knock on the door the other day, and it was really interesting because my guides had this really interesting message about alchemy and shifting energy and creating in your life. So that is where we're going today, guys. I'm very, very excited to share it with you. It was so interesting that I had to start taking notes. So I'm going to probably read from them a bit for you. There's just a lot to unpack here. A lot of it seems simple, and it is. And other parts of it are just a little, I don't know, a little more complicated, but in a great way, So I'd love to talk about that with you guys right now. So basically this is about alchemy, and lately I've been getting these ideas percolating about what is alchemy. So what does it mean to alchemize things, to change and shift things in your own energy and in your own life? Lately, I've stopped thinking of energy in terms of healing and in terms of regulating the body through energy shifts that is a healing energy, and thinking of it more now as it's literally just matching up energies that are transforming what's within you or around you, which is really cool. So I did this quick little deep dive. Thank goodness for AI. I was like, what is alchemy? What do you see alchemy as? Grok or whoever I was talking to, one of them. And so I'm going to read it. Alchemy is an ancient, mystical, proto-scientific practice aimed at transforming base metals into gold, finding the elixir of life, and achieving spiritual perfection. Now, not looking for spiritual perfection. There is no such thing, really. Not really looking to change base metals into gold, although that is what, when you think of it from all that fun Dungeons and Dragons stuff, it's definitely referenced there. But this is more about energy alchemy. Energy within us. One of my most favorite things to kind of deep dive into, because for me as an intuitive, one of the strongest parts of me that read information is through energy. I have a really very heightened, keen sense of energy. And so many people do that along with other things, but like the energy is what I'm able to, through the context of life, interpret quite well, and to be able to kind of tap into in a really interesting way. And energy is how we all, in so many ways, move the environment into a place that we want to be in. It is the energy within our bodies. It's the energy around us in the room. It's energy in momentum toward our goals and our dreams and our visions of where we want to go in our life and what we want to accomplish here on this planet, well, in these beautiful lives that we're living. So I was told that alchemizing energy. So I'm going to be referencing some of my notes. I had to stop and write them because I never quite thought of it this way. So the guides were telling me that energy is a twofold process, in that it's an art and a science, which is fascinating, but makes perfect sense, because when you think of art and being an artist of any kind, which is what you are as a person, you're an artist of creation. You're creating in every moment. The artist absolutely gains information through dropping into the heart, whether or not we realize it. That is where the source of all creativity flows. So we have to look at ourselves as artists through the art of energy alchemy, as well as the science of it. So we're also scientists. There's a mechanism that is just universal law. It is a law of the universe that works within us and through us and around us. So that kind of satisfies the mind part of us, the intellect, the intelligence and wisdom that is within us, the high mind. So we're working, when we really have our feet on the gas and we are really moving things, we are working with the high heart and the high mind. We are working with both. So it's really cool. And so as an artist, you have to surrender your energy to the process. So an artist, if you think about it in the true sense, think of someone who's going to paint a beautiful masterpiece. We need the tools. The artist starts with the paintbrush, the canvas, the palette of paint, and all the beautiful colors that are going to be expressed on that canvas, and the vision, but maybe not even a vision yet. We don't know. When you're an artist, you have to surrender to the process. There might be a vision, that's great, and it's a way to kind of just start moving toward the creation, but it's not always gonna go the where you think it's gonna go, or you might not even know where it's going. So you have to surrender to the process. And so I never thought of it quite that way. As an artist of alchemy, you are going to have a vision, and you're going to have those tools to work with in order to be able to move within the realm of moving energy, moving it from maybe perhaps a place you didn't want it to be to a new place, somewhere where you would prefer to be, or incrementally getting to the place where you want to be. Or if you like where you are, next leveling it, moving it to the next place, because we are ever expansive. We're never going to stop wanting to grow, change, evolve, and expand, because the universe never stops expanding or growing or changing. It's just the nature of being a soul. We're infinite, and creation is infinite. So we have to start from the artist aspect of it. Then we move into being what is the science of it? So science, more and more you hear about quantum physics, and this is kind of a little dabbling in that from what I got, and I really would love to explore it more, so feel free to go into a deep dive yourself on this, but this is what I got. So the second step in alchemizing energy is the science, being your own experimenter, or being an experimenter, which is what being a scientist is. And so the way they described it is they said any transformation in the physical world must first be addressed through energy. Yeah, all creation first exists in the quantum field. So whatever it is that we already are starting to percolate with, and the ideas, that's already starting to gather within the unseen realm, within the quantum, within just the particles of matter and frequency. So energy is a frequency calibrated by the level at which it vibrates, which scientists know this, and we know it. It's hard to believe that as matter, we are literally just energy vibrating at a very quick pace, a fast movement that creates the density of matter. These beautiful bodies of ours, it's pretty magical. And everything around us, nature, anything that is in the material realm. So energy is frequency calibrated to the level at which it vibrates. It shifts to be initiated in frequency, and need to be intentionally witnessed. So if we want to shift frequency, we want to shift movement and momentum into something different, we have to intentionally witness the shifts that we want to create. They need to be addressed and reorganized by the same level of frequency, meaning that it needs to be the same frequency or higher. And they really want to make the point, it's not judgmental. It's not like, oh, this is a lower frequency and this is a better one. There is lower and higher, and yes, you could quantify it, I suppose. We all know that what feels dense and what feels not as good to us, and what feels better. But it's all energy and matter, all on the same scale. It's just a little further from the other. And the idea being that higher frequencies that's where we get into the spiritual realm and all the dimensions that go into these higher and higher. We keep talking about 3D and 4D and 5D and 6D and all the different dimensions. They're all frequencies. These are all frequencies. So when we talk about different types of frequency in a way that we can describe it in this physical world, we can talk about Hertz frequency, which is a sound frequency that's in music. We have vibrations in color. Obviously, they all color on the color spectrum. There are different vibrations from red, RGB, right up to violet. Food has its own frequency and vibration. We talk about organic and natural foods versus processed foods, all of different frequency of sorts. Group dynamics have different frequencies. If you have one person and then you get another and it builds its own synergy, that becomes its own frequency. And very often it's surprising to know which direction it can go in. That's why when we get into group collectives that are we go to church and we pray and we lift our prayers up, the frequency rises because there's just momentum and there's the collective around it that elevates it and it becomes stronger. Same for lower frequencies with group dynamics. We all know how that can go. You start complaining and the next thing you know, you're like, I'm kind of chiming in on this, and it changes the dynamic to a different frequency. So all frequencies can be aligned or shifted. That's why we're here. That's why we are creating. That's why we have so much power in our lives. And I want you to think about that within yourself. What is it that you perhaps want to change, that you're ready to move in a new direction with? And where have you felt stuck? Because it's easy to feel stuck as if, I don't know what's not moving within me. I don't know what's not moving around me. It's all the same thing over and over again, a kind of Groundhog Day, not the good kind. And it's really hard to break that momentum and to know that you have it within you. Powerful, powerful creator that you are. Your frequency affects everything around you to draw in more of what you would like to be a part of, what you want within you. That could be healing in the body. That can be more financial prosperity. That can be better relationships with people, more community around you that is like-minded, feeling connected to something greater than you or something creative within you that feels stuck or blocked. So energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred, reformed, and transmuted to a different level of frequency. Okay, so I wrote down a bunch of stuff because I didn't want to forget once I was getting all this information, just reminders of what are some ways, if you are feeling that you really want to, on the day-to-day, move out of maybe a bad mood that's sort of going to start taking momentum, or a bad conversation or something disappointing, or we all have it. Life is life, right? Or the news or the world, or seeing all these things and feeling a little powerless, a little hopeless at times. You have the power to not only change your own energy, change your body, change the vibration in the room, but the collective as well by shifting small changes within you, small changes. So I always say, we're not here to have a feathered nest, to have something just given to us, to have it be easy all the time. We're here to gain resiliency, to learn some really interesting things, to have experiences that give us more empathy toward others, and maybe even offer a little of the medicine of what we've learned in order to elevate, again, the frequencies of this planet. So ways to do that. If you're kind of stuck or you need to change things up, go into nature. Nature it has such a heightened frequency and everyone knows it. That's why it's always talked about as a quick way to get yourself back, get back into your spirit, into your heart. So get into nature, creativity of any kind. Start creating. I don't care what it is. Find your creativity. And even if it's simply just planning something out that you're excited to do, that is a creative process. You don't have to be some sort of savant or Renaissance person to be creative. We are all creative. Music. We all know that the music has a certain frequency that will uplift you, move you from one place on the emotional scale, you could say, to the other. If you're kind of having a bad day and you're kind of mad about it, sometimes listening to angry music while you're jogging is actually pretty good. But you don't want to stay in anger. So what you want to do is use something that is going to elevate you to the next place. And obviously we know that there's always beautiful music that can uplift you. Something that empowers you, that raises your spirit within you, your soul to a different level. Because there are dissonant energies in music as well. So it's always worthy of paying attention to how it feels within you. Check yourself, your body, your spirit, your energy within that. So positive conversations, community, laughter, quickest way to get in your heart, change that frequency. It literally starts to get you coherent with your heart and mind, and the people around you and yourself, most of all. Prayer, meditation. These are ways to get yourself out of the way, get your mind out of the way, move to a new calibration, a new frequency within you and around you, and match it. Because when you match with words are so important. Words have frequency and they're so powerful. When you set intention for words that are uplifting, powerful, empowering, this is good. This is good. So whether you're meditating and not speaking and kind of clearing yourself, or listening to the words of a guided meditation, which bring you to a better place of frequency and vibration, helping you match to that place you want to go to. Both are amazing ways to get there. Also, let's see, movement in your physical body. I talk about that a lot. Movement moves energy. It moves it, alchemizes it. It will help release, transmute it, move things out so that it's released and then moves into a new place within you. Your cells respond so well to that. That's why your body just loves movement, and it doesn't have to be a big deal thing. You don't have to be an athlete. Movement of any kind. There's so many ways. Look for the one that speaks to you in your own energy, your own vibration. Obviously, water, showers, baths, Epsom salts, any kind of salt, sea salt, the ocean, swimming, all the things. That has another way of alchemizing, moving energy, so that again, you are matching the higher frequency of what you've already put out there. The quantum will start to meet you where you are. Your job is to raise your energy, raise your frequency, so that the energy of creation, which you as an artist has already put out into that field, can match you and meet you. Okay, so let's see, any others? Rituals, creating your own rituals of intention, high-minded rituals will raise your frequency, raise the frequency in the room. That includes going to mass, going to church, temple, wherever, synagogue, any type of group collective that is of a higher mind, something that wants to raise the consciousness of things. I love going into a space where prayer has been ritualized through mass. I used to go to, my favorite place was not even the mass, it was the empty church, because you could still feel the raise frequency, the good prayers that people had put up, that had been offered to the divine, and it's still there. You can feel it, and you can feel it in holy places. You can feel it in sacred places in nature. That's why people tend to want to congregate there. Or they're drawn to these sacred places because they really do move the energy within you, and that's why people feel it. I remember when I was little, my parents are from Quebec, and so we would go up to there was a basilica, Saint Anne de Beaupré, and it was miracles would happen there. You'd walk into this massive place, this gargantuan, beautiful church, and it was just from floor to ceiling. There would be crutches and all these medical instruments, devices that were needed, that were left there as testimonies to the fact that people would feel the energy, believe in it, really draw themselves to it, meet it, and then have a spontaneous healing. And they would leave everything behind and walk in that new frequency. Jesus had such a high frequency that he did not see the illness in people. His frequency raised the frequency within others so that they could literally shift their entire body to a new level. And that's why he said, don't tell people. Go back, go home, and don't tell them, because the mind has a way of pulling us out of the belief that we have that much power within us. And so that's something that also is important to remember when we're creating something within us, or that we're trying to alchemize. Don't always share it. Make it something that is private and sacred within you, so that you don't get influenced by maybe someone that isn't quite where you are, and that doesn't have that belief system, or doesn't have the trust that they're that powerful. You are. And I am here to make you do something about it. I want you to do something about it, because I can tell you that it's little things every single day that keep you that in the flow, that ability within yourself to not let a bad day get to you, or to not get so in the momentum of difficulty that it just takes you in a direction you don't want to go in. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Don't believe all the stuff around you. Do not let yourself get pulled into the idea that it is what it is and you have no ability to change it. It's not true. Alchemy is real, and people that, and not only can you within yourself do it, there are people that can help facilitate that for you. So I'm someone that works with energy, and I've I am a Reiki master. I've always kind of worked, as I said, with energy. I've known it, and I kind of naturally went in that direction because it aligned for me in a time where I was starting to really open up to offering my intuitive gifts to others, and it made sense. But I'm not boxed in by Reiki by any sense. I am more about, I just work with whatever is in that field within me. The human energy field, the energy field of a place. There's just so much that can be done, and people can help you. There are so many people like me out there. They are there as facilitators. Your body, your beautiful, wise, intelligent body does the healing. Energy around it is simply what is moving and kind of recalibrating within our energy systems, within the cells, our trillions of cells. They all respond to the quantum. They respond to higher frequency. And that's our job, to get us to a place of matching that. So I don't want to go too far beyond that. I want to give you guys a reading to see where you're all at. So I'd love to share with you what the guides have to say about it as well. Oh wait, there was something. Oh yeah, this is what they were reminding me. Thank you, Spirit. They are reminding you that consciousness, your consciousness, is energy in motion. Okay, so that means when you get that inspiration, that's the energy within you that is movement. It's moving and it's telling you to look alive. It wants you to pay attention to it, do something with it. Doesn't have to be some big booming change. I'm telling you, over the course of our lives, it's the little things, it's the little choices, it's the little words. It's not the big things, not as much as we think. Sure, those matter, but it really is what we offer on the day-to-day, the attitudes we have, not to pass along the pain within us because we're in a bad place, but to find a way to be like, how can I shift this? I'm having a hard time here, and I don't want to make it someone else's issue because of me. We all do it. It's really easy to do. It's sort of like you pass the buck along, but we're not meant to do that. We're not meant to do that if we really want to move out of certain difficult places in the day-to-day. So sometimes it takes a minute at a time. Like literally, like when I know my energy is not great, I have told people, like I always tell my kids, it's not you, it's me. My husband, just like, don't worry about it. I'm sorry, I'm this way. Let me have my little timeout because I did not want to transfer that to them, and I did not want them to feel that it was anyone's fault. It's not. It's just awareness. And this is just about awareness, guys. And that's why I'm here. And that's why the guides really, I think because the world is so chaotic right now, and it's just the truth is coming out in crazy ways. Do not feel like you have to succumb to that. You are more powerful, more positive, have so much to offer. Don't let it become a problem. And I'll give you a little, well, let me do this. Let me see what we got. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm going to take one more. I actually had taped this whole segment yesterday. I was so excited. I was like, I got something to share. Went to go look at it. No sound. And I thought to myself, I was a little bit, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of annoyed. Not feeling very empowered in the moment. And then I immediately had to say, no, we're not going there. There's more I have to add. There's more to offer. And to be honest, there are things today that I talked about that I didn't talk about yesterday. So that's what I want to talk about with you guys. The fact that it can change. It can change in a minute. Don't stay in that place where it's just like, because things are bad. It can't shift in a minute because it can. It can. So, beautiful card we have here. We have spark. Spark. So the spark, that's all it takes. You know, sparks light fires. Now, whether it is a good fire, that is something that illuminates and that warms you and that is beautiful and that lights up and creates more enlightenment, or if it's a fire that goes in the bad direction, it is really up to you. But this card, actually, this is a very positive message. This spark is within you. It is within you. That's what I'm hearing. That if you're watching this, this is because you know this. You know this already. And it's time for you to really grab it and run with it. Because I got the home card. home, you're home. You are home to your beautiful soul. You are home to everything. You are the home. Think about it, like wherever you go, if you can have a sense of safety and security and knowing that you can navigate choppy waters or anything in life, you are at home within you. You are at home for other people. You bring a sense of security and peace and connection. This world is our home, and it can feel pretty hard at times, but it's literally an illusion. If you stay there, there's so much that you can do to change it and to make it a more a home. I'm just getting the image of like a home that celebrates, a place where you know what it's like to go into a certain place, certain homes, certain families where it's just like everything is easy and it's like nobody takes things too seriously, and like that everyone has each other's backs. That's what you can create within yourself, and that's what you want to create for people around you. So yeah, that's beautiful. Love that. All right, so I'm gonna grab a couple more. I might even grab something from the tarot and see if there's anything interesting, but I'm gonna go with what they tell me. All right, so thank you. 2 more. Let's see. Does it want to come up? Kind of does. Ooh, okay, this is good. And another. I want you thinking about what it is that you do to turn back to yourselves and to find ways to alchemize when it's difficult, because that's really the challenging part. That's where the rubber meets the road, as they say. So, speaking of which, I got chaos and conflict. This is what I just mentioned. This is what is going on in the world. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't sit here with rosy glasses, thinking like it's all sunshine and rainbows and spirit and all the things. Yes, it is spirit, but we have to be the vessels that bring the calm, that make the room a better place to be in, that bring the wisdom and honestly more sacred energy to this planet, because it's very lacking in that in the way that life is presented to us through all of the mediums that are coming at us over and over again. I'm hearing and being reminded that you're gonna be given a lot of stuff that is just not a representation of how beautiful this planet is and how much grace and help and support and love and divine assistance that we have. You're not told that. They go to the lowest common denominator very often. If you watch the news or if you see what they are trying to present, and it feeds on itself. Do not be someone that gets pulled into it. Yeah, we want to know what's going on. Look at it, see it for what it is. Check in with your own energy. Does it lie? Is this information truthful? Or is it something they're just trying to feed at you so that you keep going and business as usual? Don't do that, because the next card is deep knowing. There is so much knowing within you. You know what's true. You know what isn't. And you know what to do with it. When you think about all the stories out there, I love the Rocky story, the whole Rocky franchise, because it talks about, it's the hero's journey, the modern hero's journey, about someone that feels like life is just kind of battling at him, and just not just like in the ring, but like just things and forces, and not being accepted and not being given any sense of community and worth within his self. He gives that great speech in Rocky Balboa where he's like, life's gonna come at you and it'll never stop, basically, so your job is to get up. It's our jobs to get up every day. If there is something difficult, give yourself the grace and time to heal from it. Give yourself a moment, but don't stay in that. Do not stay there. It's just, there's too much to do. It is such an incredible time to be alive. There's so much that you can offer. There's so many things that are waiting for you. So many great people you haven't met yet. So many things for you to create that people can benefit from. So much for you and for all of us to benefit from if you just start really paying attention to all of it. And so I'm going to leave it there. Think about your power. Think about where you hemorrhage it or let it leak. Think about where you bring it in and where you move it and where it takes you when you do that. And think about how that benefits the world and leaves this beautiful legacy. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have, right? We can't take all this other stuff with us. So, oh, I have one more thing. That's it as far as the reading. But guys, I opened up my calendar, so I have spots. Right now, I don't have a lot of time spots, but I will. I'll see how I can finagle it. I'm working with. I'll be doing intuitive readings and also working with energy and shifting energy alchemy. Because that's what the guides told me. They're like, it's energy alchemy. This is what it is. Get used to it. I listen now. I have to hear it and listen. So I do. Okay. Have a great day. Love you guys. See you next time.